Good afternoon. Happy Monday. Hope everybody's been ethical all weekend long. I hope you caught a fantastic episode about religion versus life we did on the Capitalist Corner on Saturday. It was fantastic. Right now, you should check out the interview I did with Andy Bernstein discussing a movie I didn't like. That is on The Rational Egoist. We're here today to talk about what the hell are we going to talk about? I don't even know what we're going to talk about because Persephone has not told me yet. I hope we get to talk about all the super chats and super stickers that we get, however, because, well, I'm poor. So that said, I'll turn it over to Persephone and she can get this ball rolling.
So I had a couple of things that I wanted to discuss, but first I want to read something to you, and this was something that someone tweeted, and I just thought it was a terrible thing to tweet. So it's Professor Zenkus. He tweeted, "If you shoot a millionaire on a sidewalk, you're a terrorist. If you let a homeless person freeze to death on a sidewalk, you're a member of Congress with a keen sense of fiscal responsibility." And this got 11,000 reposts and 72,000 likes. And all I could think was, how do people not realize that that's not the same thing? That was the irritating thing that I wanted to read to you.
Yeah, but it's a kind of a political question. I mean, I get it. I get the ethics of it, but it's also a political question, and I'm fed up with politics. But I mean, it's stupid. You know, you can't make people smart. That's clickbait bullshit that people go through because they're all like, "I am so kind, and I would just help everybody, and I get to virtue signal how kind I am." No, you're really not. Here's the thing. There's plenty of homeless people. Are you fucking going out there and serving them Burger King? Because if you're not, take your ass somewhere else. I don't want to hear it. You know, first of all, Congress isn't the ones that would be feeding the homeless. Congress would be appropriating, i.e., stealing the money of other people in order to solve the problem. There's also the fact that there's a big difference between overt acts of shooting somebody and not helping somebody. They're not the same thing. It's dumb. I sometimes I just don't know why you bring these to me. I think that you maybe sit at home, and instead of posting the pictures of the stuff that you insisted I sent you, you think, how can I really piss him off or get under his skin today? And this is what you came up with.
It is. I sometimes see things and I'm like, this would drive him insane. And then that's what I decide to talk about. Anyway, that was just something that I came across. You know what I really did want to discuss? So, on the Capitalist Corner today, we're talking about influences and parasocial relationships. And I said that you're willing to put up with a lot more from your friends, or you're willing to accept a lot more from your friends than you are from, like, a random person, a person that you don't like. And you remain friends with people who have, like, wildly different ideas than you do and who are really opposed to certain things that you believe in and who believe in certain things to which you are really opposed. What do you what do you think of that? I got very distracted halfway through that sentence.
I don't know what's happening here because I'm looking at Akira Felix. You're talking to me about tolerating more things from your friends than you would from other people.
Yeah.
I mean, I also would tolerate from a friend getting in my car and going for a ride to the aforementioned Burger King. If a stranger did it, I'd be like, dude, what are you doing?
Just not dick pics.
No. A friend of mine sent me this thing. It was real funny. It was a meme. And the guy says, some fucking random guy sent me an invitation to meet him in the park to compare dick size. Fucking weirdo didn't even show up. Okay, but seriously though, I mean, yeah, of course, a friend is going to be different than a non-friend. A friend has credit or and has things built up with me, has given me values in the past. So of course I would tolerate something from a friend who has done things for me and provides value to my life than I would from somebody that has provided nothing from my life.
So the reason I bring this up, right, is because it is true that we're willing to accept a lot more from friends and different ideas
What
from
do you mean a
friends, but
lot more though? I mean, like what? Like I'm not tolerating a friend stealing from me.
no, I
I'm
mean,
not.
I specifically mean different ideas. I'm not talking about like shitty behavior, like stealing from you or stabbing a person. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about ideas. Like if you believe, like you and Bernstein, for instance, you have like
Yeah.
wildly different ideas about
Yeah, but
things.
not really. I mean, if he and I were to go through position by position, we would agree on far more than that. We don't. But I also, if there's somebody online that disagrees with me and they do so respectfully, I tolerate it. I don't go all psycho. I had to zip this up a little bit. I don't go all psycho about it. I get annoyed when people are dumb and disrespectful. I don't mind if they disagree intelligently and respectfully.
Sure, but
No, no, don't do that. I really want to know what Akira Felix is talking about with the ARI people and the red blue button thing. I guess the people in the chat, it seems, were upset that the ARI people would not engage with the red blue button.
well, I mean, they did a video about it apparently.
Yeah, I don't.
Anyway,
I don't.
so yes, you and Bernstein agree about more than you disagree, but he does have some things that you disagree with a lot. And the reason I find it interesting is that there are a lot of people on the left specifically who, if someone that even one of their friends has an idea that they don't agree with, like Trump, or voting for Trump, then they cut that person off.
Yeah. What do you want from me? Like, where are we
I
going
don't
with
know.
this?
I'm just
I don't
which
know.
which do you think is better? Do you think that we should be more accepting of our
I got
friends?
99 cents from Danny. Thank you, Danny, very much.
He's trying to bribe me to shut up.
The meals tomorrow are on me. Mr. Deagle says this. They didn't talk about the dilemma itself, but what the dilemma says about the current culture. People were annoyed that they didn't engage the dilemma. God, Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, there's nothing in the.
I'm annoyed that people were annoyed that they wouldn't engage the dilemma. That annoys me. I don't, look, basketball tomorrow, Danny? Really? All right. I
It
see
says
where this is
baseball,
going.
by the way. Doesn't say
Baseball,
basketball.
whatever. It's the same thing. I know it's not. It irritates me that and the thing is, you risk always coming off as the crotchety old man who doesn't want to engage these things. But on the flip side of this, let me just say that young people often think that they're far cleverer than what they actually are. Right? So there's two sides to this. So the young people are like, oh, the red and blue button, and they get all excited about it as if it actually means something. It doesn't at all. It means nothing. It's stupid. But they think it's not. They think it's some interesting thing. So while for me, I'm like, this is not interesting, and you want to turn around and say, oh, that's because you're old, you're a Gen Xer, a boomer, a dickhead, I don't know, whatever it is. I say, well, the young people are into kind of dumb stuff. That's dumb. I mean, it's not like, and I'm going to be perfectly honest. When I was young, I didn't dig trendy stuff, and not because of philosophical taste or I don't like just jumping onto things like, oh, we have to talk about this. We have to discuss it. So it annoys me that the people are annoyed that the ARI people didn't discuss it. But let's be honest. I mean, if you're going for a fun time, Are you really tuning into an ARI video? Like, I mean, it's educational, a lot of it, but like these guys. No offense to well, why do you say no offense? I hate when people say no offense. If you take offense, you take offense. But these aren't the most exciting group of people. Let's be honest. No, there's no shots. I'm keeping it real. I don't know. Do you tune in and you say, boy, that Ankar Gate must be the life of the party? I don't think so. He may be a nice guy, and that might just be his on-air appearance. I'm just saying that if you're going there for fun and for stuff that juveniles are going to be into, it's probably not going to be your jam. What? Everybody got quiet all of a sudden. Why is everybody quiet? What did I do?
Everybody's quiet. Like there's just me, and like I don't even know what to say to that. Akira's saying that people like are mad because they didn't engage with the hypothetical and instead spoke about like what it says about the culture. That was the only part of it that interested me, not the ARI video, just the phenomenon. So
It all interests me. It all interests me. Everything interests me. Even the stuff that annoys me interests me. Right? Can I tell you why?
yeah,
Because, okay, so first of all, I'm in the communication business. And you and I discussed earlier how to reach people. How do you get across to people, right? So, and with what are you going to reach them? Right? So, I mean, you can reach people if you're willing to just cater to them, but then what are you accomplishing? Nothing,
yeah.
right? Or you can stick to your principles, but maybe not reach anybody because nobody gives a shit what you have to say. I have here €5 from Katrin. Thank you so much, Katrin. So now if you look at an organization like ARI, they want to spread the philosophy of Ayn Rand objectivism, and they want to do so in a very professional, it seemed buttoned up way. And I understand that. It's about professionalism. It's about a serious philosophy. But young people, for instance, aren't gonna be drawn to that because they won't engage in things like the red button, the red and white button thing. I have no interest ever in doing stuff where I'm just being there like a boring. I shouldn't even say boring because that puts sort of a pejorative on it. But somebody that's just very, very serious. I think my ideas are serious. I think my integrity is serious, and I think I'm a serious person. But I also like to joke, and I also like to engage. But maybe there's people then who say, well, we're not going to take you seriously because you're like that, right? Or because you've got the pretty lady with the cat ear headphones, we just can't take you seriously. Whereas other people might say, you know what, you got this suit and tie on. I don't relate to that. So it's about how do you frame your message for maximum impact of the point you're trying to get across. And that's no easy task, right? But it all interests me because I'm interested in human behavior, and I always have been.
I mean, same, but
I
it's
don't.
why I originally wanted to talk about the red button, blue button thing. Not just because it was popular, but because I found the whole discourse around it really interesting. Don't glare at me like that. It's not
I
fair.
find the topic utterly ridiculous. I find that so many people were intrigued with it to be very interesting. No, Mr. Deagle, of course, there's not one correct way. Different people will be attracted to different things. That's kind of my point. Is you have to. We talked earlier today about how largely the influencer sphere is catering to a mob.
Yeah. Which is true. I actually I thought it was really interesting when you said that influencers they kind of lose people when they change their ideas. So the people aren't being influenced by them, they're actually being influenced by their followers in the type of content that they create. And I thought that that was I've never thought about it like that, but then when I started to think about it, I was like, that's actually quite true. Unless the influencer is Huge.
Hold on. So Ingrid Chilberg, I did not say Ayn Rand was raunchy. Ayn Rand was also very combative in ways that a lot of objectivists or proclaimed objectivists are not. Uh, Ayn Rand is not the Ayn Rand Institute, is what I'm saying. They, from what I've seen, and I'm not like deeply enmeshed in their programming. I'm just saying, from what I've seen, they're a pretty straight-laced, buttoned-up type organization, and that's not bad. But what is this? A truck is going by, and the whole house is shaking. So I'm just saying that that's the impression I get. That's how I see it as. But no, Ayn Rand certainly was not buttoned up. But I don't know if Atlas Shrugged was raunchy. I think there was a lot of passionate sex. I don't necessarily think passionate sex is raunchy. I think it's fun. What? I can't be for passionate sex now? You give me a look like that?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the greatest clips from Saturday's discussion on religion. It was Mr. James Valiant saying that you should savor really good sex, which is true.
Really? That's good. How about honesty? So I was at a get together, and I can't say where, and I can't say who was there, or anything that, but they were having a family discussion, and it's in front of me. And there's often, I often hear, this type of thing. So I said, okay, I just was listening and listening. Finally, I said, look, you're all wrong. And then awesome, Ingrid Chilberg. Welcome to the show, by the way. I haven't seen you before, and I like the name, even if it's not the real one. And if it is the real one, you've been blessed. And I said, this is what's really going on, because that's who I am. But I guess I could have stayed quiet. I don't know. Well, I don't even know why I went into that diversion. What else do you got? Do you want to get into the red blue button?
What is there to say? Like, I feel like the conversation on the red and blue button is exhausted. Like, it's silly.
Do you think Ingrid Chilberg? She says that's her real name.
I believe it.
I would love it. If my last name were Chilberg, I would be so happy. Okay. Anyways, why don't you, let's see, let's see if you can construct or ask one of your AI pals to construct a real life scenario that's indicative of the red button, blue button scenario. That would be fun.
Hold, please.
I'm holding. What do you want me to do? Character matters. Kira Felix says people respect character even if they don't know it, and Michael is correct. Michael is usually correct. I think if people fact checked me, I think I would have a very, very, very high rating for accuracy and for being right. It hasn't always been a very endearing quality of mine. People sometimes don't really care for it, but nevertheless. Persephone got a haircut, everybody. What do you think? Do you have these?
It takes me more than 3 seconds to do something.
So Mr. Deagle says you guys could make a few episodes on the male loneliness epidemic.
Mr. Deagle, that's not something that you want me to do. Trust me.
Why?
Mike, because I have many opinions, many of them which are not good for people to hear.
Well, now I want to do it. Everybody loves your hair. Akira Felix thinks lonely young men are boring.
Thank you to everybody who said my hair looks good. The male loneliness epidemic, I think, is...
We can't do it right now. I'm saying, but do you want to do a series?
Maybe it is an episode that we could do.
I'm not lonely, so I don't know. I don't know if it's an epidemic.
So, okay, here's what AI says. A major national bank is rumored to be insolvent. Everyone must decide privately, leave your money in or withdraw immediately. If more than 50% leave their money in, the bank stabilizes and everyone keeps their savings. If more than 50% withdraw, the bank collapses and only those who withdrew their money recover anything.
That's not the similar scenario.
It is kind of, because if you
It's
press the
not. I'll tell you why. Because here's the thing: not everybody can withdraw their money. So if I say to myself, I'm going to get my money out first, right? That entails somebody else won't be able to get their money out because the bank has a limited amount of funds. They don't have the reserves to meet the demand. So but in the case of the red button, I know that anybody that hits the red button is going to live. It's a simple matter of choice. You hit the red button, you live. That's not the case in that scenario. Bye, Nicole.
Fine, Nicole. So do you know what people's problem was with the red button, blue button thing? Well, one of them. Sorry, I'm busy checking if there's
All
another
right, what's
scenario.
the problem they have with it? Go ahead.
Some people said that the reason that you should push blue and whatever is because what if there's one of a baby has to push the button because it says everyone in the world and the baby doesn't understand, or what if there's a person who gets scared or confused and they push the blue button because of scared confusion, or what if the person is senile and doesn't understand the question?
What if you kept your children away from the phone so they're not pressing the buttons? And what if you guided your children toward doing the right thing?
I think the most likely scenario is that this question only applies to people who are of sound mind and who are able to
Yeah, I
understand the
don't know.
question.
It's never going to happen anyway, so I don't really give a damn. But I do. It does interest me that other people are interested in it. Ingrid seems to think that there's a big problem. She says the craziness that would arise on lonely men. What if a giant turtle admitted to rigging the whole game? He's got a point
So
there.
So here's the next one that Claude came up with. A city is under imminent military threat. Every able-bodied citizen must decide privately to stay and defend, blue, or flee, red. If more than 50% stay and fight, the defense holds, everyone survives, including those who fled. If less than 50% stay, the city falls and only those who fled survive.
Yeah, again, it's not the same thing.
I don't think that they're like
They
I
can't.
can't think.
But okay, so this is the guy says who he meant to apply it to everyone. Ian Gilmore says, okay, but that's kind of interesting, right? That you can't even come up with even a semi plausible realistic scenario. Like you can't even do it. So in that case, for instance, I have the value of my town, so I might just stay and fight and try to convince other people to do it. But here in the button thing, it's just a stupid button. I'm not fighting for anything, and any other guy with half a brain can hit the button too.
What that I hate to keep saying the same thing, but what I find so interesting about it, right, is that there is literally no benefit to pushing the blue button. If you look at it, all things like being equal, there is no benefit to pushing the blue button other than I think other people are stupid. I have to save other people from themselves. That's the only reason anyone would push blue. I don't trust other people. I don't think that other people are of sound mind. I think everyone else is stupid, and therefore it is up to me, the hero, to save them from themselves.
Right, and
And
I'm not.
that's why we have to push blue.
Ultimately, I'm not willing to. I'm putting this out there point blank. I'm not willing to risk my life when I can live for sure and be with my family and my friends, my loved ones, because some kid might hit the button. I'm not doing
Yeah.
that.
I I just don't see any benefit to pushing the blue button other than I want to, I don't know, feel good about myself that I was, altruistic and I saved other people. Cool, I might die, but to me it's really like 100% chance of
Who's
survival
Timmy?
off Timmy, the random child who pushed the button. It's
Oh,
really like 100% chance of survival or 50% chance of survival or 50% chance of death. That's the options to me. And anybody who clicks 50% chance you might die, like, you're a moron.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, we've solved that. We figured it all out. We found out that I'm annoyed with the people who are annoyed at ARI. I found out that there's probably people annoyed with me for saying that the ARI videos aren't very exciting. But
Can I
I
tell
don't.
you something? Can I
What?
tell you something? We've got 5 minutes. Can I tell you something kind of vaguely interesting?
Sure.
There is a subreddit called, what is it called? Rational philosophy. I've
Yeah.
never seen anything on it, but apparently, on the subreddit rational philosophy, there is an automatic nihilism band. So if you express any nihilistic views, you're automatically banned from the subreddit and are no longer allowed to participate in the conversation.
What do you want from me?
I just thought it was interesting.
ARI are philosophical. Yes, Ian, that's what they are. What's
You know,
next?
there's also a lot of discussion in these ethical subreddits about animal rights and food,
All right. Can I
and
tell? Want me to
the
tell you a funny story real quick? Let me
I
tell
do.
an actual funny story because that story you gave was kind of not good. So when I'm 17 years old, I had broken up with my girlfriend. We'd been together on and off since I was 13. And her best friend had dated my best friend. They were also broken up. It was a Saturday morning, and I wanted to watch wrestling because I'm a big wrestling fan. So the girls, oh, Megan, Megan, may I give your email address to Persephone? Persephone wants to set up a thing where you come on and we do an episode, Megan. So may I give her your email? Okay. So anyway, I'm glad Megan showed up. Anyways, so they kept doing calling, hanging up, harassing us. So finally, being the 17-year-old lunatic I was, I told the girl, I said, look, you call my house one more time, I'm going to come to your house and throw a brick through your window, right? Maybe 15 minutes later, I get a call from a guy. And this guy says, she says, of course. So I'll give that to you later on today. Thank you, Megan. So I get a call, and the guy says, this is Officer Hanley from the West Hartford Police Department. I hear you made a threat to, this girl. You're going to throw a brick through her window. My friend John says, no, 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 no. That's her brother. That's not a cop. And I'm like, what? I'm like, are you sure? He says, dude, it's not her brother. Tell him that's her brother. It's not a cop. Tell him you'll kick his ass. So I'm going on and on. I'll kick your ass. I said, listen, dude, you want to settle a problem? You come over. We'll go in my backyard. This goes on for quite some time, and this guy's getting wicked annoyed. And my friend is telling me, no, 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 that's her brother. I know it. He's going, I know it's her brother. No, it was a cop. It was Officer Hanley from the West Hartford Police Department. So we end up getting arrested and going, so if that wasn't bad enough, we go to court, and I decide I'm going to go to trial, 18 years old, and I'm going to defend myself in this trial. But it was a thing of beauty because the girl's sister took the stand, right? And the girl's sister says, Michael Liebowitz called my house, whatever date it was, and threatened to throw a brick through my house. I talked to him myself. So now it's my turn to cross-examine her. And I said to her, Miss, have I ever met you before? She says, no. I said, okay, have I ever talked to you on the telephone before? She says, no. I said, how do you know it was me that called? She says, my sister told me. So I won the case.
I mean, that's pretty good. Defending yourself is wild, and I feel like you just lucked out with.
I've defended myself in court twice and won both times, just so you know.
Okay, it's skill, it's not luck.
I'm an argument machine and have been since I was a boy.
You're very good at arguing.
I know. I'm trying to tell you.
I don't need to be told. I've witnessed it firsthand.
The thing is I was an idiot because I could have ended up in jail. All I had to do, they were offering me probation. I should have just taken it. How about the last one, Mike? I didn't represent myself in that one, Dan. And actually, the last one, I actually did represent myself. It was in civil court, in Hartford court, and I won that one. Better arguing than fisticuffs. Yes, and the fact that you threw in fisticuffs, I can really appreciate. I also want to take to calling people bub, because I heard that recently in a show. I'll tell you something, bub. So I might just bust that out. If you don't like it, that's fine.
I don't like it.
Well, that's too bad, bub. All right, we're going to go now. We will be back in 15 minutes on this very channel discussing the criminal mind. Specifically Dr. Stanton Samanow's great book, Inside the Criminal Mind. 15 minutes, this very channel, Crime, Corrections, and Culture. Listen, bub, put your dukes up. Yeah, I also like you. Keep it up, bub, and I'm going to sock you right in the puss. Love it. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please show up to the other show. It's a great program, and we're going to have a great discussion because Persephone is going to guarantee it. Until then, please be ethical. Bub.